Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode 33. This is probably our most pivotal week of the entire season, even though it's only February. And that is because we have not one, not two, but three objectives, sponsor objectives, over this week. And because of the overlap, it's going to require us to use our depth for the first time in honest kind of way. No hiding with just bringing your best team to the objective. Our route of Oman, or tour of Oman, is 3.5 stars. It's a 2 pro race, so we could expect a fairly deep field. Some of the World Tour teams being present for that one. We also have GP Mercia. It's only 1.1. It's a classic, and it's only 2.5 stars. But again, without the depth options, it makes it a little bit harder. Top 10 objective will help us out. Tour of Oman, top 5 objective overall, with 2 hills and a mountain stage, and at 2 pro is going to be a difficult ask. And then just a minor one, a 1 star, but still, it's another objective. The Classica Andalucia, 1.1, punchy finish, but a lot of gravel on this one. I think it's like 1 star gravel, so it's not intense, but I don't have couple rated riders, so finishing that one off with a top 10 may not be that easy either. I'll probably go ahead and play that one out. We're largely bringing the same team that will be at the other, so the 2 Spanish races are united as one. And with a split team, let's see how we do. We open with our 2.5 star classic race. Matt De Villiers, has gone into the break to ensure that if the breakaway were to hang on, then he would be, a shoe-in, a guarantee for a top 10. There was 11 riders. One didn't make it all the way to the group, which is good. They had only a 2-minute lead. They had gone over this climb, and then as soon as they hit the bottom, they went full gas, really hard, big effort, and all of a sudden it was a 5-minute advantage. Smart move, gave them some extra room, but the peloton started to speed up a little bit before the climb, and this is the climb that I am worried about, as I don't have a great climbing group for this. I do have a punchy group. I do have some sprinters who would otherwise be useful, except it's a punchy finish. It's not steep, but it's still punchy, so the hills rating is going to matter a lot more than the sprint capability of the riders, and that's why we've got our sprinter in the breakaway today. But he is most of the way through the climb and hanging in there. Nobody is working too hard on this climb. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing, because it looks like even our domestiques have a very good chance of hanging on, as we've definitely gone past the halfway point of the climb, and De Villiers now beginning that final phase. Not putting in as much help. He's helped plenty today. Climbing is definitely not his strong suit, so hanging out towards the back end of the group. I don't mind taking on that for right now. It's one team with 2 riders, but everybody has contributed most of the time here. And we are approaching the top. Plenty of time to recover on the descent. And there you go. There's the top. 3.5 minutes advantage. These guys just starting to feel it a little bit in the legs here near the top. It's starting to, drift back just a little bit, but we've got that taken care of. They are over the top. He is over the top. We've got 82k to go. We're going to get a fair bit of recovery, both groups. Maybe not completely, but a decent amount over the course of the descent, and then all of a sudden we're going to be closing in. We've got a good 50k before anything interesting is going to happen besides what we just went through with that climb, so I'll go ahead and speed things up. As we come in on 30k left in this race, one good steep hill is coming up here shortly, and then the finishing hill is all that's left. De Villiers is no longer going to contribute. Here's why. One, if he's going to finish in this front group, and it's not looking too likely that they're going to hang on at this point, but if they do hang on, he's got to have something left to compete and go for it. and we're about to hit this climb, so we're gonna up his effort to hang on. Second reason, not for the rider that's been dropped, Van Hoof, but for the fact that 4 riders have attacked, and they include a couple favorites in Serrano, Champison, even Fetter, are pretty good. Peloton's not far behind those 4, but if they catch that front group, they're a threat. And you're looking at more than 10 riders at that point, and the favorites being the fresh guys that just attacked. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get these guys prepped to hold position much better through this climb. De Villiers now going defensive. Okay, those guys got reeled back in, so we're down to 9 in the group and a minute 10 advantage. I will contribute if we get over the top, still ahead. But here comes another attack. Higuita, the favorite. By the way, go do insanely good quality here with these guys. 23K. We're going to have to rely on the field coming back together, staying together, or making our chase after this climb. We are holding position. That's all we can really hope for. Okay, those guys caught us. Rodriguez, Iribar, Triba, Lopez have actually attacked the breakaway. De Villiers now just hanging on to the lead men, the fast guys. This is the peloton of just 10 riders at the moment. We've nearly made contact with them and do. So De Villiers has been caught. He still has a chance as a sprinter for us. And we're about to hit the top here with 4 riders off the front, which is leading now to a new wave of attacks. We're going to get over the top. We're going to get guys back in position. Ansa has actually dropped. Oh, okay, I see. Contact lost in a very good place. That contact has been lost. Meaning now there's just 29 at the front, and we've got our whole team up here minus 1 guy. Time to form up. 19K. We don't want to do anything crazy, but this 19K is going to go by really fast with it being mostly a descent. Bitsimana, weakest. He's the guy we want to go out front. Kareem, with the flat rating, will come up and take over and give us some phenomenal, because it's not quite considered a downhill. His flat rating is going to come in with that 81 and be crazy good for us. So, De Villiers has an 80, a 77. I think we're looking at those two being the leaders, and then, yeah, 76. And then De Villiers, maybe ahead of Kareem. So, Bitsimana, we're going to try to get set here. He's going to come out, give us a nice tempo. Like I said, this downhill is going to go really quick, and this is going to help keep these attacks under control. This is going to help keep those 85 off the back. Bitsimana is already out of red bar. Let's start setting things up. How in control are we, and how much of a gap? It's not much of a gap. It's already down to 14.8. And we're looking at a 73 flat. So yeah, go full gas. Can hang on for a little bit. We have kept the others at bay. Front 4, inside a minute. They are still a threat, but they are falling apart. They are breaking up. That's good for us. 11.6. Let's go ahead and get Kareem ready. The 85 behind, oh, they were breaking contact with each other, and all of a sudden they make contact with us. 9.6. We're already out front. De Villiers, just since they made contact anyway, as it is, we've got the position. Just keep the position for a little bit longer. We split the field. 58 now. Okay, coming through there, I think we're now looking at Kareem territory. This is going to be fast, folks. This is going to be fast. How much damage does he do to the others? I'm guessing a lot, so therefore 97. Okay, De Villiers, Bitsimana, trying to help break that contact, but Kareem, very technical through here. We're catching those front 4, which is good, because we need multiple positions available to us. 4.2K, gel for these final 2 guys. Did I say jail or gel? 4K. Profile. Let's know what we're working with here. Oh, that's not much of a hill. They're calling it a hill, but it's 2.8K. It's average 2%. Well, it's a little late to change things now. We already used De Villiers, so no sprint from him. But this is not going to be anything intense, therefore we can start pushing. We've caught the break, so we negated those 4 guys. 2.7. Here is the climb. 2.3. Johannes Dalek now sprinting. Mullebron now sprinting, and De Villiers. It's technical. It's a little uphill, but because of the technical nature of it, it's hard to get anything going. There's a little gravel at the end. We're going to lose this, but we're going to get a top 10. Or are we? Are we? We've done well, folks. We have done well. Evenepoel takes the win ahead of Godou, but we get a 3-4-5. I'll take that. This field was loaded. Evenepoel was the 10th favorite. Now we're on to the Tour of Oman. It's a 6-stage race, but 3 of those are sprint stages, so we have 3 key stages. The first is this one. It's already stage 3 overall, and we are on a short, punchy one, but it's not terribly short. The finishing climb as we go inside 12K. The breakaway last rider has just been reeled in. We've got a few riders out the back already. Arengana leading us out has already used up his red bar, but I'm going to push on a little bit longer with him. Well, it makes sense so that we already have the front position. Nobody's coming up on us. Maybe we'll get a better look, see if anybody's willing to or pushing to come up. Arab ready to take over, and maybe I want to do so here as we come out of this left-hander. None of these guys are good flat rating wise, so they're not doing much damage behind them. You can see Arab pushing at a 99 has barely even made a dent on his teammates, and we're now inside 6 kilometers. Inside 6 kilometers and still very well positioned. Everybody else letting us stay out front. Inside 5K, and Hanouk ready to take over the moment we hit the climb. I will not want to go 99 on the climb, but we're going to go pretty dang close to it. Maybe a 96 to start. Okay, watching others come on. There is some quality in this field, so... Oh, we've split the field! Arengana loses contact with Samuels, and it has split the field. Johannesson, the favorite, Arengana, is now going to go auto, and we have split the field 2.2K. Let's go a little harder here with Hanouk. I was not looking to win this stage. What I was planning on doing, 99 for him. 1.5K. Matoni taking over. They have made contact, technically, but we're still very well positioned. Inside a kilometer. Inside 1K. Shimway, 99. 400 meters. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. We'll get the stage win. I'll take that. I'll take that. Burhi with the win. A Shimway second. Samuels third. Ahead of Menton and Barguil. Matoni to grab 6th. Andalucia. This is the most complicated of the races we have over this stretch, but it's also the least important. It's only a 1-star objective. We're not built well for this. That's why it's complicated. 4 laps here at the end. Up gravel. Also why it's complicated. I'm going to try to play this faster than I would normally so that I can fit everything within this episode, which means it could lead to a mistake. But again, it's 1 star, and that's why I'm going to take this risk. So for now, we're going to ride an 80, see if that's enough to hold our position. That's harder than I would want to go 70K from the finish. But as we're taking gravel, you got to do what you got to do and just kind of take your chances. Last time getting water, we'll do that now. Ansa taking care of it. Here's kind of what we're dealing with. Bitsimana can climb a decent amount, but 62 cobble rating today. Johannes Dalek, a 66, and can climb a little bit. Well, can definitely climb a bit, so he's getting protected as one of the leaders. Molebron, best climber, but only a 61 cobble rating and a -1 race day condition. Kind of rules him out. Water's taken care of as we go to begin climb number 2. I'll slow down a little bit for this one, and actually let's speed it up more than an 80. Let's get climbing at about an 83 here. Ansa, go ahead and gel. 66 cobble rating, but can't climb. De Villiers, Josh, today with a +5, looking very good. 70 cobble rating and can climb today. Probably our main guy. Good acceleration as well. Matt, his brother, only a 63 cobble and can't climb, so he is protecting his brother. Let's go ahead and gel up for him. He's not going to last a whole lot longer, but we are just about through climb number 2, and riders are starting to get dropped from this peloton. Breakaway still has a decent advantage, but it's down to 2.5, so they're also splitting up, so that means it should get a little easier to catch the other guys here in a little bit. Kareem, a leader, but not a great choice. He is punchy, 72, so if it comes down to it, last climb, if he's still there, then he'll have a better shot. But he's going to be the first of the leaders sacrificed. He's got that great flat rating, but no matter. There's not much flat between here and the finish. 74 cobble, best we've got. He'll get through that climb a little bit better. So if you protect him, he can lead us up that last one. He's punchy, so he can go fast, and with that cobble rating, he can set up those two teammates. So hopefully he's still around at that point, still able to contribute. Down to 63, still chasing that breakaway. The last 5 riders have just over a minute's advantage. Here we go. It's only 1 star, but we are just not good at the discipline. Limreitza, leading things out. Strong climber. Not a great cobble rating, but here goes Robert Stannard. Decent combo, and this is going to put things under pressure. Please, please, please. Fingers crossed. We don't have the strength to answer. There's just nobody chasing. Chase. Somebody chase. There's the chase. Okay. Chase is on. Now we're holding position. 5 riders chasing. Almost through this one. And we make contact with those guys that attacked, except 3 immediately attack again. Taking some risk here. All but 1 rider from the break is caught. And the peloton's down to 30. Down to 28. So Bitsimon and Mullabron are dropped. I expected that. Kareem will now protect. Yes. De Villiers. And Johannes Dalek is right there. I got my 3 guys for the last climb, and it's 28 chasing 1. We need a top 10 for this. That one tiny chance to win this thing, but here is Punchers, Classics riders going for it, and a second guy attacks, and there's not much of a chase right now, which is not good. Okay. That is something that there's not going to be a response to. So either we go with it and you get your top 10 that way, as in like 10th place, or you respond with a really good flat rating and decent downhill. We respond this way. There's only 21 riders here. We've got 3 of them. It's time to go for it. It's going to negate 8 of those front 9 riders as they put their foot down really hard and have nothing left. But Kareem, don't go so hard. We've made contact. And it splits the field again, 22 plus 2 off the front. Last 24 in contention. We've got the downhill. Kareem gets to the front to try to keep that under control and keep the pressure on these guys. He's now used up the red bars to just go fast downhill. 13.4K. Kareem is going to get us to the top, and that's it for him. He is done. Johannes Dalek. Ooh, how do we handle this? We are not good on the gravel. Oh, Kareem, sorry. Just trying to get us through it and still be here in contention. Okay, De Villiers, gel. Down to 16, chasing 1. Down to 13, chasing 1. So yes, that top 10 is starting to look pretty decent. And we are to the front, and it's down to 13 riders. We still got a bit of a gravel section here, though. Okay, red bar's gone, so just give me your pace. And it's a top 10. It's a top 10. We're into the final 10. Final 9. We're going to come out of it soon. And Johannes Dalek is done. De Villiers, 1.9K. Just keep following, and then follow whoever goes first. Nobody's coming through. Nobody's coming through. The group is looking weak. 1.4k. There you go. There's your man. It's a Venipole. Of course it is. De Villiers. Follow it. Follow it. Follow it. Okay, Johannes Dalek sprinting. Front three. We've got a podium. Ah, he cut you off to the inside. Dirty move. Venipole changes his line and blocks us off. Of course, the game's not going to penalize anybody for that. De Villiers had the ability to overtake him. The red bar would have been used if Venipole does not ride across and block us. Venipole didn't go full speed there at the end. He used his red bar to do the attack, and we followed it. We had the red bar left. We had the ability to out-sprint him to that finish line. We should have won that race, but Venipole just cuts across, and we've got nowhere to go, so we're not actually sprinting. Sorry, I tapped the mic there. We're not actually sprinting, so the red bar is not getting used up as he cuts across and blocks us into the wall. I tried to come back to the left, but our wheel at that point is up alongside, and there's nowhere to go. There's absolutely nowhere to go. At least Maurice doesn't come through, or at least others don't come through. We get a podium. I'm still happy with that, but that was pretty dirty from a Venipole blocking us on what could have been a win. Hopefully Bitsimana not hurt here as he has fallen. As long as he's up and going again, we're good, and he is. All right. The next three climbs will decide this fourth stage, whether it's going to end up being a bunch sprint or a small group finish. There's no way anyone's going to win this thing solo, and the field's been under pressure the entire stage. As we have just 60k to go here, what's happened on the stage so far was we had a two-man break, including the King of the Mountains jersey wearer, and we pursued and pursued and pursued. It got down to just that King of the Mountains jersey wearer, and then two more riders attacked when we got close to him, caught up, immediately passed him left and behind. So he got reeled back in, and those two riders ended up being the breakaway. Clerk, Cunningham. That's it. Second time on the climb. We are holding position decently well despite not putting in a lot of effort, which means even though there's only 44k left, it's probably looking a lot more like a sprint finish at this point, meaning it's going to come down to the mountain stage, stage 5, this being stage 4. And we're over it. Down to 93, 5 riders, small gap, 21k. It is going to be a sprint finish for this one. It's not a punchy enough finish, but it's definitely got some undulation. So we will set ourselves up, but it's looking pretty likely that this is going to be a simple. No proper lead out. There's no good flat rated guys, but Hanok, a little bit okay. Shimway, Samuels with, their +4, +5 look kind of decent here. It gave us what he could. A little bit of undulation here. I'm gonna continue to push through it, and then we will take over at 7k to go here slightly after the descent with Burhi. Continue on. And a little undulation at the finish on this one. So 3k. We got enough riders left that we're gonna start a little early here. And final kilometer, but the red bar just disintegrated a little fast there. Shouldn't see any time separation here at all. It's all together. Or was it? Right at the finish line, those 6 have just a bike length between us. So hopefully we don't lose any time on that one. 8k to go on the Queen stage. The climb, 6.5 kilometers. You can see we're just already starting to ramp up just a little bit here. But 6.5k, almost 10%. It's a hefty climb. It's definitely not going to be an easy one. This is going to come down to those mountain rated guys, and there's a few that are very strong. We need a top 5 for this race. We are well placed in 4th and 6th in the GC with thanks to that stage win. but the field is still very much bunched, so kind of the order on this climb should ultimately be the order as we're already looking at the first player. Roland attacking, oh gosh, 78 mountains, 80 medium mountains, 77 hills. It's early at 5K though to be going. 5K is not that bad for me lead out wise. And this whole group can climb. You know what? Screw it. I didn't expect to respond till later, but I mean, it's 5K. It is 4th overall, but this is about this climb, so I'm actually going to slot him in a little bit higher than I would normally. Drop to the back, help break toe. 86 riders chasing 2. And we have a gap. Arengana. Arab just going as fast as he can. Motoring away. One good thing that could happen here is it's too bunched up. It's 2 together. But Ashimwe to lead out Burhi. I mean, gel for everyone. Let's start with that. Have they made up the ground? Henok. Roland hangs on, takes the win. Genietz, that medium mountain rating of his was good. It was enough. Field's bunched though, so there shouldn't be time losses, including Ashimwe, who was 4th overall, and Samuels, who was 6th overall. So without time losses, maybe we still got a top 5, maybe we only got a top 10. We'll find out here in just a second. 2 riders overall gain separation with Roland and then Genietz. Everybody else comes in at 33 on same time. And 71 riders. So that's going to keep the field fairly bunched up, but it does drop us just outside of the top 5. Roland moves into the race lead. Genietz moves up to 3rd. So we drop 2 spots. Ashimwe to 6th, Samuels to 8th. Leknasund also moving up a little bit there, but some riders lost time, but not many. Not many. Those top 3 finishers moved well up the standings. We're still well placed. 2 guys in the top 10. We are 1 second behind Paddy Bevan. Ashimwe. If I can steal an intermediate sprint on the final stage, I can get us into the top 5. We'll look at what our options are for that. I've managed to get Ashimwe into the breakaway, and they weren't too thrilled about it. They kept us pretty close. But the 2-minute gap that we've been holding has suddenly blown up to near 4 minutes. Now, the difficult task from here is I have got to get a top 3 in an intermediate sprint. We technically have 3 occasions. We're at 1.6K, and right now is actually the perfect time to attack off the front because it's going to descend from here, and we can push on and get 3 seconds. Yes, we did it. First go. 5th place. 5th place is now ours for Ashimwe. Now we have to make sure that he does not lose time on the stage. Okay, 33K to go. Now back here in the field. Now 3 seconds. Let's figure out how much that put us up. 34. We could be up to 4th with any additional time, but top 3 is still a little bit out of reach. When the time comes, we'll focus on that sprint just to get an additional seconds. It's going to be close. 2-minute advantage, 20K. The age-old rule of 1 minute per 10K. 1.2K on the sprint. And we're coming from the back here. Nobody else is going for it. They're not. They are not going for it, which means we got it again. Relay, right at the minimum. Now nobody wants to contribute. 9K. Small chance of hanging on here. And now there's some sort of attacks coming. 10K. Now it's time. The gel has kicked in for these guys, so follow, follow, follow. All we have to do is not get dropped. 18 seconds ahead. Oh, we've just now come to the front. 20 seconds. The sitting up. The sitting up is going to give it to him. 1.4. 1.2. Can't sprint yet. Shimway, outer red bar. 800 meters. A Shimway. He's going to get an extra 10 seconds. Maybe 6. Maybe 6. Gray gets the win, but a Shimway gets second. There's Hanok. There's Samuels. The field, I think, was confused by the sprint at the end, but a Shimway gains an additional 6 seconds, and there's a 25-second gap to the chasing pack. Technically a sprint stage, so will they give it or not? I don't know, but we've picked up, and he got the sprint, so he got 9 seconds. He got 15 seconds plus a possible gap. We got our top 5. That much is sure. I'm pretty sure we're on the podium. Have we done any better? Was there a gap? No gap given. No gap given. It's a sprint stage. It was a breakaway away the entire stage. Never caught. A more than 20-second advantage at the finish line. F this game for not knowing how to calculate sprints and gaps. Because it's a breakaway group that's been away for 100 plus, over 125 kilometers. 125 kilometers off the front and never caught a more than 20-second advantage at the finish line, and yet it's still not given. But we do gain 20-something seconds. That's going to move him onto the podium, definitely. And it does. Third place. 22 seconds, and that was the gap. It would have been maybe second, maybe first, depends on whether they give it 21, 22, 23, what the calculation would have been. Samuels takes 8th, though. Hanok moves up to 15th, Arab up to 17th. It's a podium, folks. We did better than the top 5 necessary. Strategy paid off on the final stage. That is got to assure our super success for the year at this point. I mean, we are so far. It's only February, but there were 7 main objectives. 4 of them are done. There's only 3 more main objectives the rest of the way, and they are lower. 1 3-star left. Fairly confident that we've got this in the bag in terms of super success for this year. And yes, Continental, 1 more year of it, we're looking pretty dang good. And this is not against Continental competition. The races we are doing are against World Tour and or Continental Pro competition, and we're doing quite well. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.